Welcome to another episode of the Ranagade Show with my partner, Amirica, powered by the one and only Shine and Jam. You know we lit. You know what I'm saying? We got the big boys fucking with us. You feel me? So we're lit. Yeah. If you've been tuning in, which I know you have, it's amazing. So the conversations, it's been hitting left and right. So we're going to do the same thing today. Amirica always has good input for me and good topics to throw my way. So we're about to do the same thing again today, powered by motherfucker Shine and Jam. Let's go. All right. Talk to me. Talk to me nice.
All right.
Hey, yo.
All right. So, thing I wanted to ask you about,
Yes.
a couple things that I've seen recently that I thought would be perfect because you've always been my source for hip hop my entire life.
Okay.
I feel like you're really connected to hip hop. You really understand it. And this summer is going to mark the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And so I feel like this is a pretty big deal. And like, I feel like it's something a lot of people are talking about, like cultural milestones, how things have really changed in people's lifetimes. And I just wanted to like, where do you see hip hop at 50 years? Like where has it changed in your lifetime? Where do you think it's going to go in the next 50 years? Like, where do you think hip hop's at?
I think hip hop is a religion. I believe in holy hip hop personally. I feel like I'm a priestess of holy hip hop myself. I feel like when a person who practices a religion learns the verses out of their holy book, that is how they, you know what I'm saying? They practice their deen, how they, you know, read those scriptures, that gospel, right? So for me, I know the holy verses of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I recite those all the time. So I think hip hop is a religion. I think the incorporation of hip hop is then what you see happen to any other religion when man tries to own said religion and then kind of fucks it up. You know what I'm saying? So I think where we're at right now, hip hop definitely needs to go back to the essence of being a religion. It needs to go back to the essence of being what it was intended to be, which is a voice that speaks for the ones that aren't necessarily typically allowed to hop on a microphone in certain spaces where, you know, there's predatory, you know, oppression happening. You know what I'm saying? So I think hip hop needs to go back to the root of what the fuck it was. I'm glad the girls are in the game right now, but I really want the girls to like get on their shit too. I think we need to have like a nice wide range of topics being discussed in a firm fashion. You know what I'm saying? I think hip hop is necessary for that because I think it does give you a gospel and it does give you a guidebook on life in a lot of ways. But I do think right now, 50 years in, I think it would be really good if the real hip hop heads realize their true power. I think that's the real thing too. Like you have people that have been in this game for a really, really long time doing their thing forever and ever and ever. And we need to champion those people the same way we would champion anybody else in any other field and go ask them, what do we need to do? What do you think is missing?
What do you think hip hop is missing? What do you think it is?
A real voice for the people, like a real revolutionary voice, I think is what's missing. But I don't think anything is missing. I think hip hop is doing fucking great. I think hip hop's been doing great. I think if you like I've been here in America now for like almost 30 years and I've been dressing like this the whole time, like for real, the whole time. And we've been lit the whole time. Like if you were the flyest guy in the 70s and you showed back up in the 80s, which a whole 70s fit on, you was wild, like looked crazy. If you showed up with your flyest fit from the 80s in the middle of the 90s, you still looked crazy. But like whatever we were rocking in 95, 96, 97, 98, I'm rocking in 2007, 2008, 2009. I'm rocking again in 2017, 18, 19. And I'm rocking right now because it's a forever fly because it's based in the roots of all of it is in the actual culture that runs the world. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so black culture runs the world as far as like what the standard is of cool or what the standard is of fly, what the standard is of fashion, what you know, what's gonna go and what's not gonna go. So I think then that flyness that's always been there, like are they putting a timeline on rock and roll? Do we know how long rock and roll's been around? They're not talking about that. But because it's hip hop was like the kid that was counted out. Like, oh, this just a little fad. Y'all just playing. Psh, who was playing? right? Like who was playing? 50 years later, all your kids is doing it now. So like in the 90s, like you're listening to that rap crap or whatever the fuck bullshit people were saying. Like it's not real music. Yes, the fuck it is. It's real expression. It's real emotion. It's real feeling. It's real soundtrack to life. Even if it's just the beats, if you just go down to the productions, like the Jay Dillas and all these other people that have now, you know what I'm saying, like just done amazing musically, you know, sonically glorious things. You can't count out the entire genre. Now 50 years in, every single commercial hip hopped out. Every single person that's talking on the newscast is trying to incorporate hip hop in they shit.
Like pop music is
everything.
Hip-hop
It's all it's
now.
hip hop.
Yeah.
It's for sure hip hop, you know? So yeah, like I think it's everywhere and I think it's undeniable. So I think 50 years sounds good, but it's really the eternal voice of the ancestors coming through the youth every single day. It's the culture. I love now that like the New York is getting back to super dancing. Cali's got all the dancey music. Like it's all getting back to high energy shit, which was the same thing that was kind of happening in the 90s with the music because the dancing was all real, like full body, drop down, pick back up. Like the kids in New York, I love the sturdy. I love the kids in Cali doing like the walks and shit. I love it. I'm here for every avenue hip hop takes. It's still a tool for expression. It is a forever canvas for an artist to be able to get on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, music in general, for sure. But hip hop is really like now, grab the mic and say something. And I think that's what hip hop needs to get back to is like, why the fuck are you on the microphone? Like, why are you taking up my airspace here? What are you saying? Is it worth me listening to? Is it worth me repeating? Is it something I could, you know, take to heart or take to chest and say, all right, you said some real ass shit. I feel you. I'm a rock off that. I think that's kind of maybe what's missing. But then again, I'm not listening to all of it. That's the other problem now too, is back then it was such a harder thing to get a hold of, to like be involved in or to like get a chance to. You had to be invited to a studio. Somebody had to fuck with you. Somebody had to think you had good enough rhyme. Somebody had to, you know, you had to like impress somebody enough for them to like even let you rock on a thing. Well, now, okay, any old kid can get online and buy a beat.
Yeah, the barrier to entry is so much lower now.
There's no barrier.
Yeah.
There's no barrier. Everyone's phone comes with GarageBand. Your phone comes with it. So if you're a 10-year-old kid, it's nothing for you to be like, oh, my 10-year-old little dorky son just made a whole hip-hop beat like the Migos. Shut up. No, he didn't. Like copy and paste and regurgitation is not that. You will never conjure what the Migos conjured. You will never have the voice Tupac had. You will never have the voice Future has. You're never going to capture the masses the way these people have through your production or through your words. You know what I'm saying? These are real like cultural icons that have changed and shifted society.
So I know we've talked about this before, and I'm just curious, like, just tell the people. Like, we talked about the whole Post Malone thing, and he said it before a while ago, and I think he's walked it back a little bit, but he said he listens to rock and roll to feel sad, and he listens to hip-hop to feel happy and to be upbeat. And I as someone who likes both hip-hop and rock and roll, I find that ridiculous, because I listen to rock and roll to be happy, and I listen to hip-hop to be sad.
I just think it depends on what you're listening to in either one of those genres.
Like, totally. It's just totally
I think it's
ridiculous.
just an ignorant-ass comment to begin with. You know how many fucking rap songs there are? Like, there's so many heartfelt rap songs. Future, Hardly, News or Something, Lil Haiti Baby. Some of these songs are like super heartfelt ass, emo ass, My Savages. Like these are heartfelt songs. These aren't like, he's not to blame. Wait for You. That's a sad song. These are like really heartfelt
you're talking
songs.
about one artist.
Yeah, that's one artist. And then I can also give you the turned up ones. Maybach, POA. All right, we could get turned too. Rent Money, whatever you want. One person. Tupac has Ballad of a Dead Soldier. Has Troublesome, has Crazy, has Staring Through My Rear View. Those are like really high intent, like you could cry to those songs easily. Dear Mama, I mean, come on, that made like all the global whatever, but you know.
What do you think that perception is based on? Is it just based on
I think it's racist.
I think so too.
And I think you're forgetting the fact that rock and roll also came from black people, Post Malone. Sorry for you. Whatever you want to call it, but like you can't. If you even Ozzy, right? Like you're a big metalhead, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like I didn't know how big the genre was, but after just vicariously hearing shit through you, like War Pigs is a fire ass fucking revolutionary song.
Right.
But if you don't know Ozzy Osbourne, he's just the guy that cusses on TV, and maybe you heard he like bit the head of a bat, or you just heard like whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you might think of Future and think whatever, but you're not really listening. Like Young Dolph is saying shit that is heartfelt to people. Like Nipsey Hussle is heartfelt to people. That is heartfelt music. What are you talking about? But here's the other thing too. The puzzle pieces have to fit. Like, you remember those little games with the kids where you got to put the shape in the right thing? Like, you can't, like, if you are a square, it's going to hurt you to get in the circle.
Right. Right.
That's a bar. It's going to hurt to get them corners of yourself chopped off. If you're a square, it's going to be hard to get in the circle because you don't feel it. You don't understand. You have to know pain to hear pain. Like, you have to be a girl that dealt with your boyfriend playing you to feel Dolly Parton's Jolene. I don't care what race you're from, what culture, or what type of music you like. You hear that girl singing that song, you're like, bitch, I feel you. Right? Or you understand? Or like Flowers by Miley Cyrus. Let's just go different genres. Like, you're not listening. You could also say, oh, the young pop girls aren't talking about anything deep. You're not listening. You're really not listening. You're getting lost in the sauce. So Posty
I just think it's so
is
easy.
kind of losty.
Well, I just think it's so easy when you look at like people like Ozzy, Miley, Dolly Parton, whoever, and just like come up with this snapshot perception of them, and then
you're not listening.
And I think and I think it is massively a race.
Is
thing with
Biggie like,
hip-hop,
I love it when you call me Big Papa, or is it Suicidal Thoughts?
Right.
Which track did you play?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which one did you dive into? Because I think everyone has their own way of giving you the heartfelt. So we might not speak the same language, right? Like you might not be able to. You might not understand the lingo that something was said in to understand why that's even heartfelt. There were songs I listened to when I was younger that I really didn't get what the full meaning of it was, and now like as an adult, where like now I've lived all of these experiences, I'm like, oh my God, that one's so good. Like in particular, Lost Boys, they have a song called Games. It's on their Love, Peace, and Nappiness album. I used to listen to the album so much when I was younger, and that song was just. It was always on the album. I never skipped it even then. But like as an adult listening to that, bro, that song damn near makes me cry when I don't even know why, but it's just the words he says, the messages in it, the heart. I mean, you're not listening. So and these worlds are vast. So if the young man is a little high and doesn't understand what words are coming out of his mouth, then that's okay, because somebody needs to just put him on. Somebody needs to have you listen to Nas. Somebody needs to have you listen to Jay-Z. Somebody needs to have you listen to Song Cry, or I'm Wishing on a Star, or any of those songs that are, even Renegade is a heartfelt ass song. Like that's some deep ass shit. Like it's about judgment and it's about doing your, so it's like, what are you listening to? Do you want to cry? You can. Ghostface Killer. All That I Got Is You. Go cry. You don't want to cry off that. You think this is that and that's that. But then even rock and roll is all fun and games sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like it's, what's the other Ozzy one? The high one. The Mary Jane.
Sweet Leaf.
Sweet Leaf. Like, okay, is he just a stoner? No, you didn't listen to the other songs.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. It's like
I
feel like with rock and roll, people are able to see like, okay, there's artistry all different types of way. With hip hop, it's like these people are just partying.
Yeah.
And there's like no they're not recognizing the pain. They're not recognizing like.
But that's racism.
And I think it's
racist.
It's also simple-mindedness.
You're racist.
Like I was reading a thing in the New Yorker. They were talking about like, hip hop doesn't romanticize death like rock and roll does, because it has to deal with death so much more intimately. And that was basically like the whole point of the article, was like there's so much death in the hip hop genre that they can't like talk about. And I just find that so insulting to the artistry of hip hop.
Jesus
like,
Christ, have you listened to Tupac?
Like that's what I'm saying.
What
Like
are
they
you
deal with
talking
death
about?
on an every single song subject basis, and it's like, just because you think these people like can't escape the hood or whatever sort of like closed-minded thinking you're having about this.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
dismissive.
It's so small-minded.
It's you being a snob.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
going somewhere that doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. You go to a restaurant. It's the best food ever. Right. Every single person tells you it's the best food, but it's aesthetically not pleasing because you're used to going to restaurants in Beverly Hills, darling, where I have 6 waiters and waitresses at any given. Okay, you dismissed all that shit. You didn't realize how good that food was.
Exactly.
Because you couldn't get past the restaurant. You couldn't get past the cute little lady doing it and the fact that it wasn't a bunch of fucking worker bees in the back. You're missing the fact that this little papusa is fucking crack and you should buy it and I don't care. You understand? Like, you're missing what's going on because you are so busy dismissing and like throwing away an entire thing because it doesn't meet your criteria. And that's why hip hop reigns supreme. Because for every motherfucker that said XYZ years ago, this shit'll be out of here real soon. Yeah, right. Every corporation has used hip hop. Name me one that has not dabbled.
But, okay.
Name me one.
Okay, so
and if they haven't, it's because they don't advertise. If you say Rolls Royce didn't, cool, because they don't have commercials anyway.
Right.
But Ultima, Nissan, name it, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Walmart, Target.
Yeah, all of them.
Name a field, name a corporation. They have all used hip hop. So to every single person that doesn't believe in certain shit, if it's really from in here, motherfuckers will bow down eventually.
So do you think it's a problem though that hip hop is more everywhere than it is, and what you're saying is it's like it's lost more of its voice than ever? Don't you think that's a big problem?
But that's also because it's like church. It's like the church.
It's gotten too big.
No, it's just fugazi because people understand when the people really worship something and when the people come together, there's power in that.
Right.
So whenever that happens, there's always a predator ready around the corner to like try to capitalize on it.
Use it for their own advantage.
Yeah, i.e. religion. Oh, all you people that get together for a good cause, bet, let me get some of that money.
Exactly, yeah.
Instead of like, let's do with this what it's intended to do with this. You know what I'm saying? Because there's power in the people. And hip hop is for and of the people. That's why the whole world relates to it. That's why any oppressed person across the world relates to hip hop. My cousins are rappers in Iran. There's rappers in Japan. There's rappers in Zimbabwe. There's rappers in the Dominican Republic. Every single person understands their art form because once these art forms come out, people, the opposite of depression is expression. I've said this before. Okay? You have to express yourself. The way to survive depression is to express yourself. So anywhere in the world, when anybody sees people doing shit that's resilient, i.e. black people in America being so fucking resilient and constantly having new ways to show what expression is, the whole rest of the world is literally just eagerly waiting as oppressed people that have no way of expressing themselves to go, okay, what's next? Rock and roll bet. We can, okay, we're singing. Awesome, let's sing. Let's sing this out. Now, the world has always sang. The world has always danced. But the art of it coming from... art is birthed in
yeah, I think it's like a concentration of expression,
yeah,
right?
Art is birthed in having not, right? And then you also have to just then be resilient as a people together, right? As a group of people. And that is where that resilience comes in. And that's why then like rock and roll takes over the whole world. Jazz takes over the whole world. Hip hop takes over the whole world. Basketball is the coolest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. This is that. And every single fucking thing you can imagine is literally like stolen and then capitalized on because that is like praise and worship is of the people. It's righteousness. It's God. You are now, and everyone else in the world who's not allowed to praise God waits for the gospel to start getting sang and then they sing it too. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really just... But then when corporate comes into God, it's like, you're just thieving the people of what the fuck they came for. They came for God.
That's an interesting thing you just brought up about the corporations. You
Sorry,
said like,
I was emotional off that shit.
You said like hip hop's like the voice of the oppressed people, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about like these corporations like Coca-Cola, Nestle. These are people who oppress people, and they're using
fuck up those impoverished
right.
places.
So you're talking about
exactly.
like they're using hip hop to kind of cover up their own oppression. How do you think like that affects hip hop's like credibility with oppressed people around the world, or do you think like that's not a
hip hop being a religion? I not to cut you off, but hip hop being a religion is why you. It doesn't matter how much a snake comes in to, and not to dismiss snakes. God bless snakes; they did nothing wrong here. When a person,
it depends on your religion,
but when a person with ill intention comes in and tries to manipulate a situation. If the situation is fully righteous, i.e. religion being about God and being grateful for life and being of servitude, loving your parents, being when it doesn't matter how funny the churches act, the people will never be funny. So the people will always be hip hop. Hip hop is the people. Like it doesn't matter who comes in and who comes out. You can't stop hip hop. Like you can't stop people loving life and worshiping however they worship your God. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever their religion is, it doesn't matter how many people come in and try to turn that into some other shit. It doesn't matter. Because if it's really what it is, you can't stop it. You can't stop the reign. You can't stop the reign of hip hop. Like you can't. Holy hip hop is an actual global religion, and these verses now have penetrated the minds of people just like those holy verses of those holy texts have. And that's where I think once we hit 50, I think now we need to recognize this as a global religion. So now whoever comes in needs to now be of that message and needs to be of that holiness.
Yeah.
ratchet and all. You know what I'm saying? you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. All right. So we've been having questions from the audience now for a few episodes.
I know.
So excited about this. Let's kick it back to the audience and get some more questions.
Let's go. And
out
they're
there.
ready to go too. I've been going in. I'm sorry. It's hip hop though. You know what I'm saying? Always ready.
Hip hop is the people, 100%.
For sure. Hello.
My question.
First time, long time?
Second time here.
That's funny.
My question is, you were saying before about how the opposite of depression is expression.
Mm-hmm.
How does one, as an artist in LA,
Mm-hmm.
they can be an actor, they could be a singer, they could be an agent, whatever they're doing.
An expressionist.
How do they delegate going through the depression and fighting the depression by using expression?
Well, I think first of all, when dealing with that, the first thing you'd have to do is get rid of that title. You'd have to not now see yourself as an artist or an actress or I am this, I'm a painter. No, you're a person who expresses something you have within you. So if this isn't working right now, express in another way. Okay, you're an actor. Acting ain't kicking right now. Do you sing? Do you paint? Do you like to help people out? Do you find inspiration elsewhere? You can express yourself. Do you like hiking? Go outside. Go get into nature. Do you like gardening? Start up a little garden at home. There's other ways to express yourself that isn't then your singular art form. So I think then the first way to do that is that, because if you now have tried to express yourself in that singular art form, or let's say your double art form or whatever your two things are, and you keep hitting these dead ends or these walls, now you find yourself really like sad because it's not working. And no matter what, no matter how good of an attitude you have, like we were all playing that little 3-pointer basketball game, I made one in and that felt incredible. But then when I tried to make the next 20 in and they didn't go in, I smiled through it, but I was mad. I was salty. Drum kept making it in. I was mad. I wanted to fight y'all, right? But I smiled through it, right? But that's life. So you might make one in out of that 50, and that one, did you remember how much shit I talked after that? Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. I went around, I got in everybody's face like, what? Huh? Uh-huh? Who? Right? And then the 20 I missed, I was like, quiet. Crickets. Crickets. I'm dapping y'all up like, you got it. Good job. Right. Make that in for us. Okay, it sucks. But I might not be able to make those basketballs in, but I know how to roll every blunt perfectly. Or if this happens, then that happens. If I'm not busy doing the blunt bars because it's not really like holiday season and it's not really a lot of parties going on, okay, well, we have the clients. All right, if this doesn't happen, like I'm a rapper, I make music. But there's times when I can't get in the studio. Not that I can't. I could. I choose not to because the circumstances, okay? All right, well, now I'm going to paint. I'm going to do art. Now I'm going to make some clothes. I'm going to get creative with this, that. I'm going to direct, a photo shoot. I'm going to direct something. I'm going to talk to my brother every fucking day. Call someone. If you're depressed, call someone. Watch this. I'm talking to you. Hey, as a matter of fact, I could even give you pauses where you feel like you respond. Like, what's up? You good?
Yeah, for sure. If you're ever like feeling like you're going through something, it's
you know what I'm saying?
good to reach out to anyone.
Yeah, like
you know.
reach
It really
out
does.
to someone.
Yeah.
And people want to talk to you. The other thing is you have to really like drop that ego and that that image that you've created for yourself, because that could be really the death of you. Because now you are so busy trying to hold on to this image you've created for yourself that you're unwilling now to be great somewhere else. You're so busy trying to imagine if I really based myself off those basketballs not going in. What the fuck? That's fun. Like, it's nothing to me in an analogy of life. I know I have so many friends of mine that pursued one thing, you know, too, that pursued one thing at one point, and then that didn't work out for them. And then they had a few years where it was kind of funny, and now they're like thriving in some whole different area of life that had nothing to do with
it's all about perspective, right?
It's all about resilience. It's all about being fluid and water-like. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Resilience. But yeah, if you have the friends and they're fucking depressed, first and foremost, okay, maybe, all right, the actor needs to be an artist, and the artist needs to be a singer, and the singer needs to be a dog walker, and the dog walker needs to be
You just got to push through and keep your perspective, for sure.
Go volunteer at a hospital. Go volunteer at a nursing facility. Go volunteer at at a fucking soup kitchen.
Definitely. Okay, so we got some more questions?
Okay, so just to go back for a moment, since we were talking about hip hop, and since it's been 50 years and we're kind of like looking back, sort of, hip hop has changed a lot, especially like lately. And it used to be this like social change mechanism where people were like talking about like police brutality and violence, and like they're being really real about stuff that was happening. And I feel like hip hop now, especially like, you know, after Trayvon Martin, like 2013, it's lost its edge. It's no longer trying to be at the forefront of like things, you know, that were like kind of nostalgic, like looking back at Biggie and Tupac and like wishing that it was more
that's
aggressive.
systematic. Okay, that's mad systematic. And also, okay, twofold. First of all, there's a gazillion motherfucking people dropping albums every day. So how do you even sort through all that? Like in the 90s and 2000s, I knew every single rapper. If you name me a city, I could name you the 10 rappers from that city that had dropped an album, let's say at that time. We all could, because there was only so many people in there. Now, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. He's going to drop one song. It's going to go viral because it's a TikTok situation. So now it's a whole different world. But to say music hasn't been dropped since then that's been powerful, like there's been powerful songs like March Madness talked about. That was a very powerful song. Lil Baby dropped a song that hit. Like there's people that have dropped songs that have related to these things. I could go on and on. You can find them, but they're not going to get the push because once again, the powers that be in every single field make sure that the shit is a little bit more ratchet, because the more fucked up you are, the more you're going to buy whatever. But if you're looking for it, then you can find the Kendricks or you can find the J. Coles or you can find whoever, let's say in those worlds that are speaking that real shit to the new kids. Like Nipsey Hussle was talking that real shit. There's a lot of people talking that shit, but they're not getting the suit, you know, like Nipsey wasn't getting no holla till he passed, for real. Not from people that, I mean, my homies was listening. I knew a lot of people that listened, but I'm talking about like the masses. You're lying.
That disconnect is because hip hop has gotten so corporate, it's gotten so mainstream.
Well, it's oversat. It's twofold. Once again, like it's so many fucking people. It's hard now to even keep up. Like if you go right now to a hip hop playlist, you might recognize 4 or 5 names on there.
Right.
The rest of these motherfuckers, I don't know who you are. Not that I don't care, not that I won't care, not that I couldn't care. I don't have time to care. Like when Netflix drops 27 million shows, well, they're not all going to get watched, bro. How much time does one have?
So much content in every single
like,
department.
What the fuck?
Like, it's too much to keep up with.
I hate when motherfuckers be like, you should watch this show. I'm like, I swear to God, for as good as you just described it, do you know how many shows I already have on a list that whenever I do find time, I have to get to those still?
Right.
Like, I still have to get to those. I don't have time. Oh my God, how do you have so much? Here's the thing. I really think we need to go back and re-drop every album as it came out so people can really now take this hip-hop journey. Because honestly, then it would make a whole lot of motherfuckers shut the fuck up. Because if you, like, when I'm rapping, when I came in as a rapper, I had to think like, all right, bro, if someone plays me, not my competition in any capacity, because I never... These were, you know, my OGs in my mind, you know. But I'm like, bro, they're going to play me after, like, Jay-Z. Like, Tupac's going to get played, and then I got to come on. Bro, I better say some shit. I got to sound player as fuck. I can't say nothing that anyone else has said. I can't sound like nobody else. It has to be unique. You have to have a great opening line. You have to be talking about some shit. There has to be a subject. All this. Now everybody's like, like, cool, bet. I love that, too, because I'm with the shits. Got it. But it's too much. It's too much. Whenever it's too much, you can't sort through it. It's hard. It's easier then to just say, fuck all that.
Totally with you.
Like when it's too many options, it's hard to decide. So a lot of people stay out the makeup line. That's why a lot of my girlfriends haven't gotten into makeup now, because it's just too much fucking makeup. Like, what is all this shit? I thought it was just like this and that and this. Now it's this and this. Like, I'm not doing 82 steps, bro. How much time do y'all have? Go do something. Busy yourself. All right, come on. My bad. You was right. My bad.
All right, so I got a question. More like a 2-part question.
Mm-hmm.
So with you not being from here, you know, you say like 30 years in, you had you kind of had like a blank slate on America, I would say, when you first got here, right?
For sure.
So why hip hop, as far as like, was that the first thing that spoke to you? Because I mean, I'm sure you was able to get, again, a blank slate, so you could go with any direction. So like, did you ever dabble in any other direction?
No.
And then you like, nah, this ain't it. And then,
No.
or was hip hop just the first one?
No,
and
it
then
was
the
the
second
first one,
part
yeah.
of that, so you can answer that. And then the second part was just, what was the first song that was like, damn,
I got you.
it's hip hop?
Oh, I love this. Ooh, I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, I love this. This is a good one. Okay, why hip hop? Multiple reasons. First of all, it spoke to my soul. The way the words hit, the words that were spoken, the actual words that were spoken to a crazy ass kid that had seen so much, that felt so crazy on the inside. Not in a bad way crazy, but just had seen a lot, you know, and needed a strong voice to listen to. A powerful voice that was saying something powerful and poetic that resonated with me. So hip hop did that for me from the very beginning. And this is my little brother, so I've never, nothing else. Like I never had there was no other phases. Like as a kid, I listened to like Michael Jackson in Iran or whatever, but like breakdancing was popular in Iran, like hip hop was popular, but I wasn't aware of hip hop. I was aware of Michael Jackson. I was aware of like just dancing to music. When I came here, also I was bullied. I dealt with a lot of like racism. So then like, you know, when Tupac says the fucking, you know, like when, you know, then when you hear certain shit, it resonates even more because you're like, I get called that too, literally, right? So a lot of that was also getting confidence through those words once again, which is why it's my religion. Like I found power in hip hop. I found my voice, and I was able to defend myself. I was able to talk the right way. Once again, like it's so real, right? Like I was bullied. I was called all these names. I was called I was called all this shit every day. Towelhead, camel jack, all this stuff for no reason. For no reason, like no reason. I'm just some kid that just moved to America. What is going on here? Who taught you this? Your uncle? Who taught you this? Which one of your cousins is a Klansman? Like what happened here, right? No, I still have yet to hear some of the names that I've been called publicly. Like they're very much like in-housey ass things that like your cousins and uncles teach you,
it's
right?
like, you know what it is? It's honestly, it's that 4chan thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
No,
it's
but
like
hold
this
on,
Nazi, like this, and that's where they get all this racist stuff from.
Oh,
These
yeah,
people,
but that
like,
shit wasn't around when we were dealing with that.
It communicates.
That shit wasn't around when you were dealing with racism as a kid in Cincinnati.
No, but I'm saying like these racists are like talking to each other.
Now,
like, sharing,
yes,
like,
now,
racist
yes.
secrets.
But hold on. Okay, so wait a second. 4chan, what the fuck? That's new though, because you dealt with this shit from the kids in the neighborhood. Where did they learn it?
Right.
No, that's not. We're talking 1995. We're talking 1995. That's what we're talking about. The year is 1995. Rana lives in Cincinnati, Ohio, and she is dealing with these kids saying mad, wild shit and not realizing how much pain that causes to me and my best friend at the time, and to this day, Alex, shout outs to her, who are now literally, the teachers are letting these kids sit in circles around us at recess, calling us names and not stopping it. So I think a lot of that also was a choice. I think it was a very conscious choice to, then also we come from a dad who, you know, has always been a absolute power to the people fella. And a mom who, you know, I come from people that support the people of the world, you know, globally, just the oppressed, power to the people, very like just the true, I would say like the Iranian way, the true Iranian way is that human rights, you know, to allow a man and woman to have dignity. So I think those are the things that then drew me to hip hop versus anything else. And then I don't like the way a lot of those other sounds resonate with my chakras. You know what I'm saying? I like the way hip hop feels. I like the way that 808, that triple dipped 808 feels. I like the way it sounds. I like the attitude. I deserve to stand here, breathe, and speak just like you do attitude that hip hop gave me. Because I think when you are a kid and you are being bullied, or you are a kid or an adult that's being bullied and the world is against you, it's really hard to like kind of like, you know what I'm saying, grab your dick a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and throw that shit on the table. You feel me? So I think hip hop gave me that, the ability to really talk my shit, and I really was able to dead a whole lot of shit off of being able to then join the religion of hip hop, and through learning those verses, just like a child wanting to be a Muslim would learn the Quran, a Christian would learn the Bible, If you were going to practice Judaism, you would need to learn the Torah, right? Like you would need to understand these things. I know the holy verses of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So that really, then I think I joined the church at 11.
So I just want to say, first of all,
I joined the church.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, thank
Round
you.
of applause for that. That was
Thank you.
beautiful.
First song. Second question was first song. May I answer this really quick?
I was going to get back to that.
Okay, go.
What was your first song?
Okay, first song that I loved, and then this is a full circle moment, and I'll answer this really quick. And this is like the most random song. I mean, I loved a lot of songs. It's like I had like the All Eyes on Me full album and all this. I mean, I was listening to this
I'm so glad you said that because that is exactly how I was going to end this question with that anecdote. So keep going.
Okay, so that was I loved that. I loved at the time. I loved like Nas. I loved Jay-Z, like Reasonable Doubt. I loved all that stuff when I was listening to that. But I think like the very first song that really made me be like in like heartfelty, like really super like, oh my God, this is good, was either like Staring Through My Rear View really stood out to me if I had to go back. And then there was a song, The Foundation. Exhibit had a song called The Foundation. And this is the perfect one. Because that one, I remember like I wrote, and I didn't speak English for real. Like I was maybe like a few months into America. So I remember I was like, I kept rewinding the tape and writing down all the lyrics. And then later on when I finally like for real learned English, I was like, oh shit, I was wrong about hella shit. I had no idea what the fuck I wrote. That was really, it's comedy. I wish I still had the piece of paper because I would put it in a museum. It's so funny. But then, full circle moment, rest in peace, Jay Turner. TRT Beats. He had produced that song, and then my older sister somehow like knew that whole crew of guys there, it's like the Cypress Hill crew and all of them. And then I ended up recording music with this guy. One of them is out. It's called Red Dot.
Okay,
Renegade
so
Red
you've
Dot.
said my story
So
of
full circle
all
moments.
the words basically without saying it. But when I was 7 years old, I had a red cassette tape that was like Sesame Street songs. And Rana recorded over my Sesame Street red tape with All Eyes on Me by Tupac. And I went from the tape that I was listening to at 7 years old being Sesame Street to Tupac. All Eyes on Me. And,
Overnight.
And it was like
Conversion.
a massive, like, I became so cool at school.
Conversion
I
therapy.
knew all the songs. I knew references. These kids had no idea what it was about. So I want to thank you for that.
Money. Yeah, for sure. And I think that helped me out as a little foreigner kid moving to America. And I think that's really important too, as foreigners, is to be able to then be able to be kind of like refuged by the culture, and to be then,
Well, hip hop's all about outsiders, right? And who can relate to that more than immigrants?
Well, I think it's just the oppressed of the world.
Exactly,
like if you go to these war-torn countries of the world, from Afghanistan to Syria to Iraq to the Congo to just any of these countries where there's a lot of like crazy shit happening. Even Ukraine right now, they're bumping Tupac, they're bumping hip hop when they're going. That's what resonates with you when your heart hurts, which is fuck you, Posty.
Yeah, that's why it's even more offensive, because it's like the artistry of hip hop
Fucking
is
tweaking, dancing on stage, saying bullshit. Shut your mouth. Fucking rolling your little fucking dumbass hips.
His dad was the.
I don't give a fuck.
His dad was
He's
the,
a
like,
rich
Cowboys
bitch. He said the
executive.
first song he ever fucking heard on the Breakfast Club was fucking like Lean Back or some shit. I'm like, you should keep certain shit to yourself. Like, what the fuck?
That's
No,
like a
like,
confession that you
Tell
would
me
like
you're
extract.
a cornball. Like,
Yeah.
and that's fine. You might be cool now. Awesome. But I think that's where like there does need to be a standard of entry. Like, you're wildin', bro. We don't rock with that. We don't rock with whatever you got going on. And if you don't respect it, huh? What? How you call yourself a rapper? Be a singer then. Why you doing hip hop then? Because you ain't said nothing heartfelt. Punk bitch. Fuck you said heartfelt. Party like a rock star or some fuck. What the fuck is this song? Rockstar, some
I'm sure
shit.
he's had heartfelt songs.
Because he's fucking tweaking.
But when you take away someone else's artistry, it's very easy to get your own artistry taken
He's
away.
heartfelt because his fucking heart's like palpitating off the fucking drugs. He ain't heart. He feels his heart. He's like, oh, my heart. Nah, shut up. You're not heartfelt. Fucking twat.
Okay, all right.
Next. I don't got beef with you, but you said some bullshit. And I don't even know you, so I don't know. You might have said some deep
It's not
shit,
beef,
maybe,
but it's
whatever.
like beyond beef. It's like close.
Yeah.
It's near beef.
It's halal. It's kosher. Hey, boo.
So this question is for both you guys. If you could get in the studio with one hip hop artist, who would it be and why?
Ooh. I know. I think. Okay, can I answer for you? Because I think I know the answer.
Wow, I'm interested in what you think my answer would be. Go ahead.
There's one name that comes to mind. I think he's your favorite rapper of all time. I think he's very easily.
Okay,
arguably
are they alive?
dead? Very dead.
No, they got to be alive.
Why? Why? What? Who?
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, if
We're
we're
talking
gonna go,
about-
and are you
okay.
going all time or right now? Like, they might hit me after watching this and say, "What's up? We could do this." I think we should shoot for somebody alive because we might be able to, you know what I'm saying, get them
Alive or dead?
alive.
Okay, alive.
Top.
Future.
I love Future, but I think Future doesn't give his best verses to others.
I think that's very true.
Future is smart enough to make sure
He holds back when it's not his song.
Not that his verses don't make everyone else's song be number one, because the only reason your song even got hurt is because you got yourself a Future verse on there. Fine, but and he does a lot of verses, so I don't think it would.
But he's almost like the anti-Eminem, because Eminem saves his best stuff for other people's songs, where Future doesn't
Right.
save his
I guess,
best.
sure, yeah. I don't listen to M either, but
You know what I'm talking
yeah, sure, but yeah. But with Future, I feel like he does. I would love to do a whole album with Future. Let's say, not one song. If Future wanted to do like a collab album, I'm in. Let's go. We could film. We could do the whole shit in one night.
Okay, so you're gonna get mad at me. My answer is Drake because I want to get rich. So I want to do. a song
Okay,
with
that's good.
Drake.
That's smart.
I don't want to make
But
some money.
who else I would pick? I think Jay-Z. I think I'd do a song with Jay. Because I feel like Jay's like mad selective with who he does songs with.
Well, this is the thing I was saying about
So I
Eminem.
think-
This is the thing I was saying about Eminem. You're gonna out-rap Jay-Z just like Eminem did.
Oh
Like, I'm
wow,
not- I'm not-
that's
this is
wow.
my opinion.
That's
As her brother,
that's an
you're gonna
aggressively
out-rap.
good opinion. I appreciate the opinion.
That's the truth.
Okay, I
Listen to
love that.
Ranagade on Spotify and all your music streaming
There
platforms.
you go. Let's go. Yeah, so I would say that. So okay, you're going Drake, and I would go Future. I would go Future and Jay. I would do the whole album with Future and then feature a song with Jay-Z with all three of us. Like track 7 is me, him, and Jay-Z.
I think everyone's listening.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, free bands gang. You know what I'm saying? I got a rolling on the reverse styles. Yeah.
Or who you have producing it.
Producing it right now, I feel like Metro is like one of the best producers. He's just so good. He just gets it. Like ATL Jacob did really good too with that last album. I think like Esco does good production right now. I can't really think of other people because I feel like I don't necessarily know all the new. Once again, it's so fucking oversaturated. I don't necessarily know all the names, but I know you can't miss with Metro. Like you just can't miss. Like he's gonna quadruple dip your shit in playerness. It's gonna sound great.
All right, audience. Do we have other questions?
Come on, somebody was ready. I seen it. Sorry about you. My bad.
If there was one rap battle or versus of like in the 50 years of all hip hop, who are the two artists you'd want to see battle each other and who would you want to win? I'm not saying you know who's going to win, but who would you want to win?
Okay, if I may, I think there's one answer.
I think there's one answer too.
There's one answer.
I
What's
think
the
there's
most
one answer.
titanic hip hop clash of all time?
Jay-Z and Nas, and they would need to do the right?
Yeah,
Is that what
right.
you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's why you're my little brother. You know what I'm saying? You
Like,
feel
because
me?
as much as like Biggie and
That's
Pac,
the only thing that I think the whole world
I
would
think
want to
Biggie
see
and
as far
Pac
as
is
like.
the only one
No, you're not going.
historically.
What are you going?
Biggie and Pac is historically the only other one, right?
Yeah, but they're both not here. So who you going? Come on, give me a good one.
I need to see Wayne with somebody.
Okay, yeah, but nobody can touch Wayne. There's
So-
nobody. Jay-Z and Wayne would be the only two that could go against each
What about
other.
Eminem? I know you don't like
No,
Eminem.
Eminem. Nobody listens to Eminem.
That's
No,
not.
'cause
That's
after
not
a while,
true.
Eminem-
That ain't true.
Nobody's
What do you mean that's not-
bumping
that's not true.
M.
No.
First of all,
after
this
a
is
while,
not
Eminem would get-
true.
I wouldn't know.
Bro, I
past
don't know
5
none of.
Eminem
I know
songs.
3 Eminem songs.
I wouldn't know like 5 or 6.
And
after
one
that,
of them
it's done.
features Jay-Z. Get the fuck out of here. No.
So I need
no.
I
Wayne with
disagree with
somebody.
that.
I just
No.
need Wayne.
For all the
It would
Eminem
have to be
fans.
Wayne would have to be against Jay-Z. I think Jay-Z is the only person that has as many songs that could be like, oh my God, you played that one too? But I would say Jay-Z and Nas or Jay-Z and Wayne.
Who do you want to win if it's Jay-Z versus Wayne?
I mean, oh God.
Who do you
that's tough.
want to
I don't
win?
want anyone
No,
to
no,
win.
no.
And I think that's the beauty of
Who are you
the verses.
No,
is
who are you
nobody's a
rooting
winner.
for? No. Who
I'm
are you
rooting for both of them. I love all their songs, so I'm gonna root for one versus the other. I'm gonna be like, whoever goes first. If Jay-Z goes first, I'm gonna be like, go Jay-Z, and then when it's Wayne, I'll be like, go Wayne. Then I'll go Jay, go Wayne. No, go Carters. Go the Carters.
Whose catalog has meant more to you, though? Like, just in terms of like.
I definitely listen to more Jay-Z than I listen to Wayne because I think Wayne is a lot to like digest. So I have I like Wayne binge. I will like have Wayne binge days, but I can listen to Jay-Z all the time. Because Wayne is like very like, listen now. Because if you don't listen, if you miss a bar, you missed so much. So I can't do that. I'm not like a half-asser watcher listener. So I got to listen to the whole shit. So with Wayne, I got to binge Wayne. But with Jay, all the time. Yeah.
All right, next question.
So all the new like female talent in hip hop right now, it kind of feels like they're still like in a caricature of
Yeah,
like
'cause it's
having to
pimps
be like
running
this
this
like
shit.
big busty woman and like sexy and stuff like that. Like where's all the like old school hip hop like Missy and like Queen Latifah and stuff? Like when they came out, they had like a different presence. Why are women still like playing into this like, you know?
Because the game was fake handed to girls. The boys run the game, and then they understood the boys was saying the same bullshit and nobody was touching Future. So they were like, all right, let the girls say the same. You know what I mean? So it's boys running it. Like there's a few girls that write their own verses, very few. I can't even name them, but I'm sure there's a few that actually do. So if you actually do, shout the fuck outs to you. I hope you say some real ass shit, and I hope you don't fucking get censored. I hope you can fucking put your foot down and say what you have to say. But the rest of the girls are rapping verses written by boys. So you're still catering to men. Like, you're still here to tickle the fancy of the boys, and you're still getting pimped. So I hope that a couple of girls that really don't give a fuck start talking that shit. Like, or I hope motherfuckers really blow up Renagade's music, because I really don't give a fuck, and I'm not here to tickle your fancy. Like, and I write every single word I say myself. So I think that's important too, because you need to be able to now identify a person and say, I like what they say.
So what's your opinion on ghostwriters in general when it comes to like hip hop?
I mean, I think ghostwriters are good in music, and for some people, because music is a machine. So there's people that write really good songs that aren't singers, but they understand how to write songs. They're not incredible singers. Like Diane Warren writes fucking incredible fucking pop songs all over the world. She's written for every single person. She's not necessarily a singer. Maybe she is. I don't know. Maybe the bitch can't sing and nobody knows. But like, okay, write the song. Whitney Houston will sing the fuck out of it. Mariah Carey will sing the fuck out of it. Adele will sing the fuck out of it. So-and-so will sing the fuck out of it. You might not be a singer, but you might know the art of poetry and putting those words over music, and you might understand the science of a pop song. You know, the
But don't you think it's different in hip hop? Don't you think hip hop should come from the
yes,
person
because
saying it?
hip hop is you grabbing a mic and putting your persona behind it.
Like Elton John, right? Like Elton John had a songwriter that wrote most of his songs. He played the piano, right? Like that was his setup.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, Elton John didn't write most of his songs, but like he made them the songs because he was singing them. He played the piano, he arranged them. But I feel like when it comes to hip hop, it just feels so inauthentic when you're hearing someone else's words coming out of somebody else's mouth. Like hip hop to me is like this person is talking; they're directly communicating to you.
Well, I
feel
think,
like it's so inauthentic when you hear someone else's words coming out of somebody else's mouth. I just think it's weird.
I agree. I think I think that's an ode to how sick it is now as a thing. Like if it was an organ of the body, a necessary organ of the body, your hip hop organ, your organs half fucking diseased.
Yeah.
Like half of it is some bullshit. And the reason there is so much acting happening in it is because it is now a machine.
Yeah.
So the machine is, if you fit the bill, you're good. Like my homies rap, bro. Like Drama with a J, fire ass music. Download that shit. The mainstream isn't rocking that, and there's so many other people that aren't genuinely themselves rapping, saying that shit, coming out to do that. You know, I have homies of mine that are singers. Emery Kelly sings music. He writes all of his own shit. He's sitting there, you know, writing his lyrics, doing what he does, right? Like, you're a journalist. You write every single article you have. You're actually doing research behind that. You have books coming out. Like, you're writing all of these things yourself. You're not like, you know, I think, what is it, perjury? That's what it's called, perjury?
Lying under oath.
No, what's the shit when you fucking take somebody's words?
Plagiarism.
Plagiarism wasn't perjury. It's perjury though. You lying under oath. It should be perjury.
Same thing.
Motherfucker, you
It's not really
lied.
that
It's not
different, yeah.
you. And you want to connect with someone. I think that's the other thing too.
It's just claiming something that you're just
yeah, but I think that's also
why
why a lot of people don't care about all of this new shit that's coming out. because ultimately we're not playing that. So I'm still gonna play these 10 people, and all these other people can kind of fuck themselves unless they have like maybe one song and it's a moment song and you kind of just put that on and we kind of dance to it a little bit. But that song's not gonna get played next summer. Jay-Z's gonna get played next summer.
All right, so speaking of drama with a J.
Hey yo.
Drama with a J. So y'all got a question. So
we
it's
just
like,
introduced you.
Drama with a J. So, like you just said, like songs, a lot of songs getting dropped, get played today, won't even get played next week. So with the oversaturation that's in music right now, do you feel like, because I kind of feel like music is losing, well, maybe not music, but artistry is losing its appreciation.
Yep.
You can't appreciate an artist anymore because you don't know who it is, first off.
Yep.
And then the music, you know, it might pop today, but then it's gone tomorrow.
Yep.
But if the music goes on, it's like, I don't even know who's singing that.
There's no
but I like
effort.
the song so much. So it's
Yep.
like, so my question is, I guess, like, do you feel like the music is losing the appreciation, the artist is losing the appreciation, the music can still be appreciated without the artist being appreciated? Do they have to be together? I feel like,
I think that is the whole automation shit. Like we were talking about AI stuff before, right? Like we have automated so many things and they're so like cookie cutter. Like Little John was good when that like okay was original and new. Once then the big faces came in, they were like, we just want you to say that. That's it. Nothing else. Like, we don't care that you've produced this music this whole time or you've been a cultural icon in Atlanta or you've done all these other things. Or the Migos come in and they have the cadence and the flow. When the Migos dropped their first, however many, what happened? We cut out. I don't know what happened. But when the Migos dropped their first couple of albums, right? It was iconic and it was whatever. And then they come in and they're like, okay, we just want this thing. So do a verse on the Katy Perry song, but do it exactly how you did it on this song because that's all we want from you. Because that's what we're going to sell. That's what we've made your little catchphrase. This is your Nike check, right? So now the Nike check of hip hop is like, this is all we want. Nobody cares about all the other things that go into it, right? So I think that's where then the automation of the whole thing is ruining everything because now, once again, you have these little fucking cornball ass kids. Like, my 8-year-old son knows how to make a hip hop song in 5 seconds. Yeah, because you have a bunch of fucking presets in and you're doing some generic shit that's not heartfelt. That's not going to move the people. No one's going to dance to that. It's not a rhythm that they're going to get down to in Jamaica. It's not like it's nothing that nobody gives a fuck. Like, it's not a thing that's going to go on forever and people are going to keep making songs to it 40, 50 years later. Like, you take any of these beats that are amazing from R&B or from rock and roll or from hip hop or any of these, they're forever sounds. They're forever catchy tunes. So I think the automation is what's ruining it. But once again, you can never take away, and I might not listen to these people, but you still have to acknowledge the power of the Kendricks or the power of the J. Coles or the power of then anybody else who comes in and is like, no, I really do this shit myself. I wrote all of these words. This is really heartfelt. This is how I feel. Which is why to this day, if Jay-Z puts out an album, people listen to every single word that he says or if he drops a song, right? Or like when Future drops a song, you're still going to be like, no, I'm going to, like it's a event for everybody I know. Future dropped an album. It comes out at midnight. We will all be together. Everybody ready?
Holy hip hop.
We press play at the same time from top to bottom and you take the whole shit in. Everybody else doesn't get my mind like that. Like, right? Netflix drops 1,000 series. I'm not watching all of them. But that one joint that I've been waiting on, because I know it's whatever, it's good writing. It's going to give me what I want, whatever that is. Okay. But artistry has to come back. But people are going to rebel. No one likes what's pumped to them. The internet was cool when everybody wasn't on it. Everything is cool when everybody isn't there. Your favorite restaurant is amazing when you can get really good service. Once everybody fucking shows up and now the service gets shitty, not because the server sucks, but because she's fucking overwhelming, you understand. And now you got to be like, listen, Miss whoever, Mr. So-and-so, I love you,
sir.
but I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like, thank you very much. We're going to go because we're not going to overwhelm you.
You called me Miss. I was calling you.
No, well, yeah, I meant, you know what I mean? My bad. That is, you know I didn't mean that.
Don't misgender me.
I'm miss. That's cute. I like that. Misgender. Yeah. So, yep. I think artistry has to come back.
Well, and I think to his point, and to tie into your point about the Netflix, also with the hip hop, you know, like there's so many different millions of artists, there's so many millions of shows. I think ultimately we are going to lose appreciation for artists because we're going to appreciate stories. We're going to appreciate good songs, like you said. Like there's songs in the moment. There's songs for now. Oh, the Shining GM dog, Sabby, Black Sabbath, in the house. I think we're going to ultimately lose respect for artists because there's just so many good pieces of content out there, and that we're just going to expect great content. We're not going to really appreciate the levels you have to go to. Like, you're pouring out your entire song, your entire soul when you put a song out like Staring in My Rearview or The Foundation. Like, this is your soul,
Yeah.
like being put on that recorded device. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, when people make these great movies, these like magnum opuses that are like, you know, this is my entire life story in this movie, that's somebody's soul.
hits.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so much deeper than that. And so I just think we're going to lose appreciation for artistry overall just because we're so saturated with content.
Yes. However, to add to that, because there's nothing you said that I don't agree with, but to add to that, the real people will always find the real people.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
That's
I was
true.
saying earlier, like if you're lost in life, don't, like, when you was a kid and your family said, if we lose each other, don't move. I'll come find you.
Yeah.
If we're together and we lose each other, stay still. Stay still. I'll come find you. We move too much. We're looking for something and you're never going to get found. So just find your stillness and you can still find the sounds that are supposed to get to you will get to you even in all that noise.
Yeah, you can
You'll
find
hear-
your way
yeah.
by not moving sometimes.
Absolutely. And that dog whistle, you know what I'm saying? You're going to hear that over all the noise.
And we
You're
have a
gonna-
dog, so.
You're going to hear that and you'll know where to go. And if you don't know where to go, hit me. I'll give you some references of places to go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's a lot of spirituality in the music and it's still able to be found and it's an ode to how great it is. Like, you're not popping till you get knocked off or like until the knockoff comes out of your shit. Like if you got like the cannabis brand, you're not popping till they knock off your bags downtown. That's how you know your shit's lit. You know what I'm saying? So when you get taken advantage of, not that it's allowed or we should allow this, but that's how you know you popping. Like
For
when you
sure.
got the haters, like when you got people trying to, ruin
sure,
your
for
shit
sure.
or
All right.
get money off of it.
All
Yeah.
right, let's get to our next question.
Come on, baby.
What would you say to artists who are struggling keeping their originality or authenticity to their music, given so much saturation and like the same sound and cadence that a lot of artists are doing now? What would you say to
Why people
the
so
up and
fake
coming
Renegade?
like artists that are, who want to stick to the hip hop sound and want to stick to that passion, but are getting maybe like
Pushback.
pushed back from
Yeah.
the same thing?
For sure. Music is hard, bro. You right now too, unless like you're really putting on shows or selling your merch, like you're not really making no bread off music. You got to get a billion gazillion. You got to have like Chris Brown numbers. You got to have like, you know what I'm saying? You got to have those types of streaming numbers to even be able to like get a check cut from any type of streaming platform that is actually going to be sustainable for life or retiring your parents, right? That's not easy. So to do any art, true art hurts. That's why the starving artist notion is a real thing. Not to like literally be starving, but you're not going to make money off art. Art has to be done because you love it and you want to express yourself to the world. You want to have your feelings be expressed and you want others to share in that feeling to be able to feel what you felt when looking or hearing or interacting with your art. That's what art is. Art is not going to get you paid. So if you really want to do art and you find yourself literally like being like, yo, sorry, Savvy, I'm sorry. Let me get out of your way. I do apologize, sir. Sorry, Reza. You
It's
gotta
all
accommodate
good.
sometimes.
Dog wins.
Yeah, right. It's a dog eat dog world, and he just wants.
And I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
Right.
So.
Wow. All right. So, what? You
It's a-
just
it's a
threw me
lot.
completely
It's a lot.
off.
It's a lot.
I think when you're struggling with your authenticity, I think first of all you should stop for a second and reevaluate what you're expressing and why you're expressing it. I keep cutting off my headset. I don't know why. Is there like a shortage somewhere? Oh yeah, you fixed it.
Turn the mic up.
Nope, it's fucked up again. I don't need it per se. It changes when like you hear yourself and then it stops. Okay, fuck that. I can just talk to you. So I think when you find yourself struggling with, do I do this or I don't, and you're fighting your gut on anything, I think you have to stop and you have to realign yourself with your gut. I think a lot of times you have to make really hard decisions that hurt. And I have close friends of mine, some of them are here with me right now, who have had to put a lot of what they are passionate about on back burners because they refuse to do anything inauthentically, right? They refuse to do anything that isn't true to them, true to their art, true to their heart. You know, they refuse. So that's the attitude you should have. I think a true artist, to be a true artist is to be true to self. To be a true artist is to be true to the people who are then going to
It's being true to yourself too. Yeah. Sure.
Well, you are the people. It's
Yeah,
oneness. It's
yeah.
truly oneness. So I am you. You are you. I am you. We are all
Yeah, and that's why art resonates with you, right?
inhabitated.
Because you see
know,
yourself
yeah,
in the art.
Yeah,
right?
we're all inhabitants of like the same exact space. So whatever I output, you will in some capacity have to input, and vice versa. Which is why we have to respect each other and things like that. So artists have to always keep in mind what the purpose is or what they were trying to achieve with that. Sometimes to just create for yourself for the sake of creating is also okay. But when you want other people to give you now their attention and their eyes or their spirit to kind of come in with you on some shit, you need to do that respectfully, I think. You need to do that, I think. So if you feel inauthentic or you feel like you're not sticking to your true purpose, then stop. Realign with what you're doing, how you're doing, and who the fuck you're doing it for. Realign.
Right. Let's check with our producer. We got time for another question?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, this can be the last question because we're at an hour already. So, so it was announced that, two of the biggest movie series of all time, Twilight and I'm blanking. Oh, Harry Potter, were going to be adapted into TV shows. So tying in with like market oversaturation, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on like, it's always been a thing, like movies being turned into shows.
For sure.
But I feel like it's happening now more than ever.
For sure.
All these, yeah.
I mean, I
pretty
think,
much that.
do you want to go in?
I would like to go in.
Go ahead,
Okay.
please. I'll go in
So
after. I got you.
basically what's
Come on.
going on is that people are
felt
so
it.
absolutely ridiculously lazy that they can't come up with a new narrative.
Yep.
So what they're doing instead is just regurgitating the same old
Yep.
crap that we've seen 100 times. You know
You
what the
said
Karate
it.
Kid doesn't need to do? We don't need a black version of the Karate Kid. We don't need a Vietnamese version of the Karate Kid. We don't need to run through every single country on earth and have a Karate Kid. What we need to do is have Daniel's son and just move on. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and do another one, right? Like do a whole nother thing, like.
Like, okay, we got Creed. There was Creed. There was Apollo.
No, and if
Like,
you're gonna
just
redo
stop.
it,
Just
give
stop.
me-
Do something else.
No. And if you're gonna do it, give me Bruce Leroy.
Right.
Give me Bruce Leroy, and then now I'm impressed because now it's a whole story and it's around something. You know what I mean?
Like I don't need to see the 50th readaptation of The Wizard of Oz. If you
No.
want to do The Wiz, though, that's cool. Like, it's a cool interpretation of it.
Exactly,
You got to interpret
exactly.
the product
yeah.
in some way.
I'm inspired by
But
this, and
these-
now I did this.
These
Otherwise,
lazy
yeah.
remakes,
No,
just stop
regurgitators.
it. Just stop it.
Yeah, like somebody ate the food and you just a baby bird. with
Hey,
your
what if
mama
we took
bird
what if we
giving you
took
7
7 Harry Potter movies and made it 7 seasons of crappy content? No one wants to see
Well,
it.
hold on. Respectfully, it might be fire. The point isn't so much that it couldn't be done well with another budget or they're not going to make it be interesting and all that. The problem here is we have stopped introducing magic into the imaginations of the people.
We're just trying to recreate every story into our story.
Yeah, because it's, once again, it's right that whole shit I said. Like, everyone's trying to pump IRL into URL. Just pump everything that already happened again into this. And it's like, it really...
It's just lazy.
It shits on the creativity. It's also the same reason for why a lot of, like, you know, if you, like, YouTube can watch your kids for maybe like an hour or 2 hours a day or something. Maybe. I'm not saying don't let your kids watch it for a little bit, whatever. But you can't pump your kids' brains with things that already exist. Boredom creates magic. Right? Like, you have to, as a child or as a youth, feel, even as an adult, you have to have moments where there's nothing bothering you. And I think that's why, like, meditation is a whole thing for people, because they're like, find stillness in your, it's like, or just fucking shut the fuck up for a couple
you know
of
why
minutes
it's
and
especially
just chill, and then don't try to push for stuff and just let things kind of, you know, happen. What were you going to say?
Well, you know what I find especially lazy about it is that all of the things that they're remaking already exist on streaming. Just watch the original.
No. But see, that's not the thing. The whole thing is these networks need to own what's happening too. So the other things are owned by somebody else who's eating off of them. Ugh. So now if I can license this off of you and then I can own a piece of it too, now what's up? Like now I'm eating as well. So if I can readopt your little shit for this, that's my intellectual.
I really worry about
you know what
Amazon and Netflix eating. I really worry about their food on the table. I do.
Well, yeah, but
just come up with some new ideas, you lazy bastards.
Well, yeah, and then you know what I'm saying they fucked up that live streaming thing that was went viral. They were trying to live stream the Love Is Blind reunion or whatever, and they fucked that whole thing up.
Well, then they had their live comedy special, which was Chris Rock, and he was awful.
Yeah, you told me that before. You said he was terrible on it. So yeah, I think yep. I think that is a good fucking place to end this. That's what I think. I love you all.
From
Powered
Sabby
by Shine and Jam.
And Sabby.
And Sabby, the cutest little puppy ever. My partner for life, Amirica. Okay, we love you guys for sure. The Ranagade Show. You know, subscribe, like, follow, send it to your fucking friends. Don't be the only person.
Join the Ranagade Army.
Don't be the only person getting this game, okay?
Join it.
I love you. Holla.